do a red onion because it might put some color into your cream. You don't have to do any crazy cuts here, but I'm just doing half of an onion to 4 cups of cream here. To that, I'm also adding some bay leaves. In French techniques, this is called an onion piqué, which you take some bay leaves, some cloves, whole cloves. Again, you could use ground cloves. That's totally fine. Whatever you have in your pantry. I'm just trying to get fancy here with other seasonings. Then I'm just kind of flipping my short ribs around. So I have my cloves, my bay leaves together. Kind of stick this to your onions that's fine and all falls apart. So what I'm doing is just letting the onion, cloves, and bay leaf permeate the cream here. You're not going to get a strong onion flavor, but you're definitely going to get some flavor in there. A little bit of anise in there from the cloves, a little bit of bay leaf. So we're going to let that go for about 15 minutes. Again, we're making the base here. So I'll let that go on a simmer. Okay. So our short ribs are going nicely here. While that's browning, again, I'm adding aromatics to my short ribs.
Good night, Roger. Good night.
To that, I'm adding some shallots. If you don't have shallots, you can definitely use some onions. Just a couple of shallots, whole garlic cloves. We're building some flavors to them. I'm adding some bay leaves to it. I'm adding some fresh thyme. If you don't have fresh herbs, dry herbs, brown herbs, totally fine. But be careful when you're using dry herbs or that's ground. They're a little bit stronger, so you might want to go a little bit less. Here, I'm obviously going a little bit heavy because they're fresh and they're a lot lighter in flavor.
Oh, so good.
And to this, I am deglazing with some red wine. Rule of thumb, they always say on TV, you know, use red wine that you drink. Or whatever wine that you're cooking with that you typically have around the house. Again, whatever you have. Use box wine, bottled wine, whatever you have, really. Leftovers from a party. So we have our liquid in there. And to that, I'm also kind of adding the same flavors that we had when we marinated the short ribs. So I'm going to add a little bit of the cocoa nib, ground cocoa nib. Again, you can also use cocoa powder. Unsweetened would be best. And I'm adding a little bit of honey to this. Again, we're building flavors to this and making it a lot richer and a little bit more in depth of flavor. Some maple syrup. Again, Aunt Jemima's totally fine. To this, and this is a restaurant trick right here. I'm adding a little demi-glace, and you hear that a lot in television shows. Demi-glace is just basically veal bones reduced down to a gelatinous kind of a stock, little sauce here. You can definitely get this from other stores, specialty stores. I believe Whole Foods carries this. Seaside Market up in Solana Beach or Encinitas. But if you don't have demi-glace, again, I'm only using this just because it adds a little depth of flavor. Beef bouillon is totally fine. However, you need to watch out for your salt in beef bouillon because it has a lot of sodium in it. So I'm just going to add a little bit of veal demi-glace in here. And like I said earlier, when you're braising, what's awesome about it is that it's one-pot cooking. Once that's braised, at the end of the cooking process, you'll have a little bit of sauce in there, and what happens is you can use that sauce. It's condensed, and you can make a sauce, a finishing sauce with that. So I have all my aromatics here. The thing with braising, I just want to go back to the whole technique. The difference from braising and stewing. Braising, it's a combination cooking of moist heat, and also dry heat. So if you can see right here, I'm only putting liquid halfway. And the reason being is that you want some moisture to happen here. And what happens is with all that moisture, it breaks down the collagen of the beef. Beef, protein, whatever you have. stewing. Stewing is basically smaller cuts of meat that you immerse in liquid, and it's a higher temperature cooking. Braising is a slow temperature cooking where it breaks down the enzymes of the protein and makes it fall apart. And then roasting. You know, I'm just saying certain cooking methods so that people don't get confused by it. Roasting is just basically dry, open oven heat, like roasting vegetables. You don't put any liquid in that. It's just dry heat, just cooking through. So here's braising right here. What I do, again, you can, if you don't have a roasting pan, you can definitely put it in a pan like this. What I do is to keep all that moisture in there. If you don't have parchment paper, you can definitely use some foil, but this will definitely ensure to keep all that moisture in there so it'll cook evenly. Again, if you put this parchment paper in the oven, it's totally fine. It's not going to go in flames. Anyway, oh, there it is. Okay, so we're just going to cover that. You can definitely put this on a low heat or on your stove. However, it'll take a while. The point of braising is putting it in the oven. So what you're doing is locking all that moisture in. You can definitely take this whole pot and put it into your oven. You cook this or you braise it in the oven at 250 to 300 degrees for about 2 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours. Just let it sit there and set it and forget it. So we're going to do that. I do have some prepared already. But again, 250, 300 degrees for 2 to 2.5 hours. Actually, you know what I did? I forgot to salt and pepper this, but if you're doing veal demi-glace, there is no salt added to that. It might seem like I'm heavily salting my protein here, but it's fine. It's not a whole lot. You're really flavoring the whole piece of beef, the sauce and everything. So we have that going. Again, pop that in the oven. Now what I'm going on to next is my bechamel, my mother sauce here, my base for my mac and cheese. So what's going on here?